I think for me, my conversations with my students begin psychologically. I was taught as a former middle school teacher, and I've had a lot of my family members who were school teachers, actually all my life, that you can't teach a child anything until they know that you love them first. So my interactions begin with who are you, where you're from, what do your parents do. It has nothing to do with academics. So when we get to that process where the students are struggling, if they tell me they want to be an accounting major, and they're earning D's or F's in accounting, then it's very easy for me to address those issues at that point. I think as Dr. Jackson just articulated, you do ask them what they want to be when they grow up, but there comes a point in time when you're advising a student that you realize that what they want to be may not actually mirror what reality is. So those are some of the tougher conversations that I've had with students, particularly athletes. And so one of the things you have to understand, and I learned this through personal experience, is that you have to help students gravitate toward their strengths. And that's very, very easy to see once you get to know them. Usually when they hit, maybe right about the time they're entering the major, especially business, and these are the courses that will weed students out: the statistics, the accounting, the finance, the operations management. Those are some things that most students struggle with. It's very, very uncommon that you'll find a student that has an even brain who's quantitatively and qualitatively balanced. So they're either one or the other. And unfortunately, I've had to encourage students to leave the College of Business and go to those other majors where they can actually graduate and earn a decent living. And I tell them this with all the love in the world: it does not mean that you cannot excel at what you're good at. So I've had many that I've coached and have encouraged them, some who are in graduate school, but they were not in graduate schools of business. With athletes more specifically, it's a little bit trickier for athletes because when they're in season, the conversations that you want to have with them are conversations that center around balance. Okay, I don't encourage you to take the calculus and the statistics while you're in season. That doesn't make sense. So you want to go to some of the softer sciences, unless you've discovered that they're very good mathematically or in those quantitative subjects. So for them, with athletes specifically, you have to make sure that they're carrying the appropriate number of credit hours, number one, which is at least 15, because if they drop, they're still academically eligible with the 12. But then you want to make sure that they're not saying, okay, I want to take stats, quants, all the same semester. No, we can't do that. We can't do that. So you want to get, like maybe some things that I teach are on the softer side of the management department, like leadership or behavior management, and then they still have some electives where they can do over in PE and things like that. But you never want to let a student load anything heavy, your athletes, when they're in season. One of the other keys to success that I try to tell all my students, and I'm getting better at it. Well, I've always done it, but they've just started to listen. Is to encourage them to get out there and participate in some internships, because this is the mindset. Okay, you're getting ready to graduate college. So what? There's an entire world of students out there that are getting ready to graduate right along with you. And there's also a big world out there who's lost jobs through downsizing and outsourcing. And you're actually competing with those individuals who have experience. So it's not always about just coming to classes and being an athlete and taking the courses. You actually have to show your potential employer that, yes, I'm serious about my craft, I'm serious about my profession, and I actually spent a good chunk of my time delving into that area that I said I wanted to participate in. So I would say that my approach it's basically psychological. There's not any magic to it, but you really, really want to get to know your students on an intimate level, because once you have to delve into those deeper, come to Jesus, I need to change my major type conversations, it's a whole lot easier.